In the Soviet Union, sports served politics. Champions like Olga Corbett won glory for communism, but they felt trapped by the system.
I was in a big prison. You can't live without freedom. You can't live without, you can't move anywhere. This is ridiculous.
Ironically, Soviet athletes were once forbidden to compete in the Olympics. Kremlin ideologues denounced the games as capitalist and said the very notion of victory was bourgeois and anti-communist. But then Stalin changed his mind. With the Cold War permeating all parts of life, he wanted to defeat the West at its own game. The Soviet sports machine set out to mass-produce Olympic champions.
The objective was to demonstrate to the entire world that communism was superior to capitalism. It was a huge investment. It was an entire industry of sport.
In every Olympic sport, Stalin demanded victory, whatever the cost.
Special trainers would come to look for talented children. They went to kindergartens. Any child with potential they would take. Sport was all about the government's prestige. If sport was strong, the state was strong. That justified everything.
Within a few years, a vast sports bureaucracy was in place. It did not rely solely on drugs or cheating, as many in the West suspected. Far more significant was the extreme psychological pressure the state placed on its young athletes.
Once our ski team came in second place, a sports minister told them, "Shame on you. 20 million of your countrymen gave their lives in the war. Now they rise from their graves. How can you look into their eyes? Did you sacrifice everything as they did?"
In less than 10 years, the Soviets were ready to fully compete in the Olympic Games. Larissa Latynina was the model communist athlete. In Melbourne, she won 3 gold medals and launched an era of Soviet domination in gymnastics.
Oh, I was a very big patriot. My gymnastics was not only mine, it belonged to my Soviet motherland and all the people.
For the first time, the Soviets had won more medals than anyone else. The team had beaten America and won the Olympic Games.
When we returned from the Olympics, everyone wanted to see us and touch us. It was just terrific.
И вот так стоит, смотрит.
tiny old man met our train. He knelt before us and said, "Thank you. You haven't let us down." It was fantastic.
Это вообще было...
Communism had new heroes. The leadership wanted more. In a search for the next generation of champions, the state combed the furthermost corners of its vast empire. By the mid-60s, the Soviet government was used to victory. Its star gymnast retired with 18 Olympic medals, more than anyone in history. Now head coach, Larissa Latynina was the ideal communist athlete. She expected others to follow her example.
We were training some amazing young girls for the next Olympics, like the beautiful Natasha Kuchinskaya.
Just 15, Natasha Kuchinskaya was her coach's favorite. But not all athletes could withstand the demands of the Soviet sports machine.
Well, sport takes a lot from you, but gives little back. We were stuck in our camp. Just the forest, the dining hall, and the constant training. This was our life.
Well, yes, they trained hard, like it or not. Winning was the cornerstone. This was all that mattered. And if you want to win, sacrifices are necessary.
Of course it wasn't right. Working as hard only made sense from our government's point of view.
Mexico was Kuchinskaya's first Olympics. She won the gold medal. Her government wanted to turn her into another star of communism.
Natasha Kuchinskaya. Natasha Kuchinskaya это было само...
Natasha Kuchinskaya was just a charm. She captured our hearts. Everyone was saying, Natasha Kuchinskaya, she is the bride of Mexico.
When I came home after the Olympics, I was just so exhausted. I couldn't bear to even go into the gym. I was that fed up. I felt awful. I just wanted to walk in the forest. I wanted to lead a normal life.
Пропускать тренировки. У нее...
She began to disappear, to miss trainings. She'd complain, I don't want to do this or I don't want to do that. Well, for us it seemed like her pain had gone to her head.
Larissa Latynina tried everything with me. She'd say, if you don't train, you won't have money. You have a duty to your country. But it was useless. I just couldn't go on. It wasn't giving me anything. I somehow lost my breath. I lost my energy. It's difficult to explain. I was empty inside. So I quit. I was devastated. They did nothing to help me. They told me, you don't work here anymore, so don't even talk to us.
A new gymnast was proving even more difficult to control. Olga Corbett's unorthodox style was a direct challenge to authority. She was, quite literally, revolutionary.
The gymnastic committee began to wave their hands, shouting, "No, no, no, that's not allowed."
I was small, very strong. You know, this is like revolution. Yes, I went to gymnastics, destroyed everything, you know, and started new gymnastics. They don't ready. They don't want to change, that's all. I think I perform for myself and for the public, not even for judges, you know. I wanted to, so public likes me, and I will give them same thing.
You see, Russians are collectivists, not just because of communism. It is part of our very nature. Anyone who fights against this is doomed to fail. Collectivism is ingrained in the Russian mind. It is our power.
I was different. This is why they didn't like me and don't like me now.
Grace. As the hockey team left for Canada, Olga Corbett took the stage at the Olympic Games in Munich.
You know, when you touch the equipment, before you're afraid all the time, like shaking. But when you touch, this is mine. Look at me, this is mine. This is, I'm flying and I show what I can do. That's it. You're actors, you're athlete, you're most beautiful, you're everything, and all of the world yours.
Despite her 3 gold medals, Olga Corbett had also fallen afoul of the Soviet system. The fame and adulation she won abroad bred resentment at home.
Well, Olga Corbett was more popular in America than in the Soviet Union.
Потому что она немножко...
She was, well, how should I say, she didn't behave properly.
Не всегда
Always demanding attention.
себя вести.
She was a prima donna. That's not how we were raised.
Depressed and outcast by her own team, Corbett made one last Olympic appearance in Montreal. She lost to Romania's Nadia Comaneci.
I wasn't same Olga. You know, I was older and I was tired, and I realized I competed for the government, not for myself, not for public.
Мои все объяснения
Community deserved to win.
стену непонимания.
But the sports committee acted like I'd committed some deadly sin because we lost.
Хореографии, вы устали.
They said I was outdated, obsolete. I was so insulted. I said, well, if I am outdated, then I won't waste your time. So I gave them my resignation and walked out.
Olga Corbett was barred from traveling abroad. After communism's fall, she emigrated to America.
For me, it's so strange. Even I didn't understand this is communism. How you can be the same? Communism proposes you're supposed to be same. No, you can be you individual. This is wrong system.
In the 1990s, the Soviet sports machine collapsed, together with the communist state it served.
I'm proud that in those difficult days I was strength enough to keep my soul and my health and my mind. I'm proud that we are openly talking about things which I never can possible to talk in those days. And I'm proud that I was one of those who destroyed and to help to change this system.
I believed in our system. I believed and believed and believed. Now, sadly, I don't anymore. I realize it was all cheap propaganda. We athletes used to call to our people, go forward, go forward.
Считаясь с тем, что потом, когда вот
Now, all my work and all my beliefs have left me with nothing.
я, в общем-то,
Absolutely nothing.